Hello everybody, this is Elliot from ETJ English. Good to see you again. And today we're looking at one simple sentence, but we're going to be learning a lot from this simple sentence. Stress, intonation, weak forms, vowels, consonants, connected speech, just about everything. So get your voices ready and let's start this week's pronunciation lesson. So, this is one of the many techniques I teach my students who join my pronunciation course. It's a technique which can show you that really any sentence can be analysed, it can be changed. Things can happen to the words and we can learn so much just from one really simple everyday sentence. As I said, weak forms, sometimes we're going to use them, sometimes we're not. Intonation. Sometimes we might use a rising tone, and sometimes we might use a falling tone. There are lots of different things that are going to happen in one sentence, which can change the effect of what we are saying. So I want you to look at this sentence for me right now. Just listen to me read it first. Listen to how I read it. I want to go to town with you for a coffee tonight. Now don't worry, I don't expect all of you to be saying this as fast as I am just yet. But the first thing I want you to do is listen to the words which sound important in this sentence. Which words are really coming out to you? What words do you notice the most? I would say the words want, go, town, coffee, could be you if you want, and tonight. So yes, these are what we would call the stressed words. And really all that means is that I'm making those words stronger. I'm making them sound more powerful and more easy to hear for the listener. That's because they're the words which make the sentence happen. The other words, they're becoming very relaxed. I don't know if you noticed. Now I'm going to read the sentence and I want you to listen for the small words, the words which are not important. Listen to how I pronounce them. I want to go to town with you for a coffee tonight. Don't know if you noticed the word to was pronounced twice. I want to go to town. T. So we're not pronouncing the word to as to. We're pronouncing it as t. And the reason why is because, well, it's not important. The word to is really irrelevant. It's just there for grammar purposes. And this is what we call a function word. It's a weak form of the word to, and we'll pronounce it as t. It's also happening with the word for. It's actually becoming f. But the thing that complicates this a little bit more is after the word for is a schwa sound, or the word a, which we pronounce as a coffee, a coffee. And because we have the word for, we don't usually pronounce the R, okay? And in most cases, let's say it was for the coffee, which wouldn't happen, we would say for the coffee, for the coffee, for the coffee. But because we have a vowel, okay, with the word a, or as we would pronounce it, we're actually going to borrow the R at the end of for, and we're going to use it to help us get to the vowel. And that's because when we have a word which finishes with a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel, we're going to join them together with that consonant, even if it's an R, which is the enemy of British English. So it would be still in its weak form. So we're not saying for, we're saying f, but we're adding that R on the end and joining it to the schwa of a. So, for a coffee, for a coffee, for a coffee. I want to go to town with you for a coffee. Now, one more thing I'm actually quickly going to mention is I'm not pronouncing the T at the end of want. I'm actually saying want. The reason for this is because want ends with a T, but the next word begins with a T. We're actually going to relax the word want and drop that T if we want to, and it will become I want to go to town, want to go to town. Now the other thing I'm going to mention, one more thing in this part of the sentence, is that the word you could also be a function word, a weak form. We could say with you. I want to go to town with you for a coffee. You could be pronounced as ya in some situations, but I wouldn't in this situation. I think you is quite an important word here because we're directing this at the listener. We want them to know it's you, not my sister, it's you. So let's just do the whole sentence now. I want to go to town with you for a coffee tonight. Now I want you to practice to go to town, to go to town. I really like how we're doing this t. This is a great way of you practicing your weak forms. Weak forms are really, really important. And it's usually the schwa sound, which is replacing a vowel. And that's the reason why people say, or the true fact is that around 30 to 40% of British pronunciation is the schwa sound. And that's because we're using it so much in weak forms. Now there are loads more weak forms. Like I said, to, for, you, ya, and many, many, many more. But we'd be here all day if I were teaching you those. So I'll save those for those of you who join my pronunciation course. So one more thing I want to look at really today is intonation. I just wanted to look at how we could tone this sentence, and also we've mentioned stress already, but we can quickly touch on that also. So listen to me read it one more time. We've heard this sentence a lot now. I want to go to town with you for a coffee later. The most important thing really is that we're going down at the end because it's a statement, okay? And because it's a statement, we're going to fall at the end to show that we've finished speaking and it's not a question. If I said, I want to go to town with you for a coffee later, that would sound like a question, like we're saying something, but we're also asking it as a question while we say it. So we need to make sure we're going down at the end to show that we've finished speaking and we're making a statement. Now, if it were a question, then we might change it. For example, do you want to go to town for a coffee later? Yes, we're going up later, but I want to go to town with you for a coffee later. Going down to show we've finished speaking, okay? And remember that the stressed words, the tone will go up and we push them, okay? And that's just to show that they are the important words and they need to be heard. And remember, to, for, and there are many, many others. This is a really quick lesson, but I wanted it to be quick to show you how you could spend, for example, 10 minutes of your morning writing down 2 or 3 sentences. And you can really analyze these sentences. For example, look at the weak forms. How many words can become weak? Which words are stressed? Which words are important in these sentences? How would we tone the sentence? What intonation would we use? Can I pronounce all of the vowels and the consonants in these words? Maybe I need to practice pronouncing the words. There are so many things you can do with just one sentence, and you could implement this into your day and start improving your pronunciation naturally. Now, for more techniques and also everything you need to know about weak forms, stress, intonation, function words, vowels, consonants, connected speech, absolutely everything about British English and achieving a British accent, you can join my pronunciation course at etjenglish.com. The link is in the description below. And you'll also have access to me on WhatsApp or WeChat, where we will talk. I can listen to your voice recordings and give you some feedback and guide you as you take the course. So, as always, I'm looking forward to meeting those of you who do join the course. And thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it helped. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye.